A new commit for the Texas Longhorns. They go into Florida and get one of the better defensive linemen in the country, and Tyler Alexander. We discussed that today and much more on the show. The Longhorns stay hot, and they got another commit coming down to Austin, Texas. Yes, sir, man. So major commit for Texas. We'll talk about that more here in a second. But guys, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video. You know what I'm saying, and share with a friend and join and become a member today. All right, it is only $3.99, man. So y'all join and tap in with me, right? And remember, all throughout June we had number commitments. Try to cover as many as I can. Y'all know I cover like 6 different teams, man. So I try to cover as many as I can, get the film breakdowns, instant reactions, all that good stuff. That content you can't get anywhere else. Okay, so been trying to supply you guys, all throughout, man, and cover as many teams or the teams that I cover as I can and players that I obviously know. All right, so today is Tyler Alexander. I don't know him, but he does. He did just commit to a team that I do cover, right? And we know that is the Texas Longhorns, right? 6'4", 305 pounds, chose obviously Texas over Georgia, Notre Dame, and Colorado. Everything is bigger in Texas. I think it's a great move for the young man. Obviously, very bright future, and it has some good things going for him, right? So when we look at him, right, Texas was the team he went. He was making the decision about 11 hours ago, as you guys can see right here is Georgia, right? Took some OVs there. Obviously looks really good. And the burnt orange looks natural. Obviously blends in with the skin, as you guys can see. Then you had obviously Notre Dame with green, right? And then you had Colorado as well. Now Colorado could definitely use a player of this caliber and of this stature in a Tyler Alexander. Okay, so those are the official OV picks. There are a couple of more. Him he just looks natural in that orange and white, man. It just fits him well. Being at Texas, we know how great of a program it is, right? And all that good stuff. Okay, so that is what he's done, right? In terms of the OVs, right? On the field, right? On the field, what I'm saying? What did he accomplish this year, right? So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive before we get into the film, okay? So here's the evaluation from Andrew Ivins. He basically says big, wide nose tackle that can plug the drain, right? Already carried 315 pounds, but wears the mask well and is likely to only trim up once in college, right? With the feet blocks with raw power, surprisingly quick hands, can slide laterally, but makes his biggest impact as a run defender by simply holding his ground. Activity level tends to vary, but found energy late during solid one-on-one session at Under Armour Next Camp in advance of senior year. Improved lower body mobility should aid more range and better first step. Should be viewed as a potential one-gap anchor that can provide valuable minutes in the middle of a power forward defense and after a short developmental period, right? 2025, what he accomplished 11-game junior season, 46 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 21 QB hits, and 2.5 stats per max preps, right? So that was what he was able to do. And like I said, he's a consistent 4-star prospect for Texas, right? 89.12 overall, right? And 428 nationally, okay? So that is some of the things that's being said about him, right? Now, when we look at Alexander, it is time to break down the film. What does the film say on this prospect? Let's roll it. Okay, hold on. Let's cut that off. Okay, here we go right here. Go back. All right, so right here he is in that middle, creating that initial pressure, right, and being able to hunt and chase down the quarterback and force obviously an incomplete pass, right, a QB hurry, getting him up out of there. Okay, here he is right here in that middle, y'all. Okay, so good job right there with the hands, right? See, quick, explosive, right, being able to kind of shift off the defender right there and then bring him all the way down to the ground, as you guys can see right there. So great job there from Tyler. Okay, here he is again, right here playing that nose. Right, good strong move. Hold on, I couldn't see him right there. Or is he right here? Okay. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I love this. Right here in the run game, you see the run stopping ability. Right here, he's going to take on a double team. Right? Two guys are blocking him. Double team is right here in the way. right? And he's able to just to use his power and strength and keep that gap integrity, and then look at him go get the running back. So great job there, fighting through a double team and still being able to make a play in the backfield, right? Excellent job right there. Okay, so here he is again here in the interior. See big 99, as you guys can see. Good job right there. That clip is a little bit hard to see, but you see right there, just creating that push, right? Consistently pushing the offensive lineman back, right? So same thing here, pushing them back, right? And then just being able to move them enough, right? So nothing too fancy, right? Boom, push him out the way, but let me keep my gap. Let me stay gap sound, gap integrity, and not allow him to run through here, right? And being able to bring him down to the ground. Great job there. Okay, so here he is again. Right, you see how he was able just to bulldoze the offensive lineman, right? Push him straight back. Boom, move out the way, bro. And I'm gonna go get a TFL right here, right? So majorly, as you guys can see, just making plays consistently. Same thing here. Here he is on the inside, right? Just being able to sift through, and then boom, look at him just overpower that center right there in the middle. So good, strong lower body, good strength, and then being able to engulf up the running back right there and not allow him to rush through. So if you Texas, that's valuable because you got a guy that can plug holes, right? Can use his strength and his power, 6'4", 305, 310, and is just able to do that. Right here, this is pretty cool. He's running a stunt right here. You don't always see this for defensive tackles, right? Right here, he's going to loop around. That is his stunt. These guys are going to loop in, and he's going to come around open and being able to help his teammates get the sack right there on the quarterback. All right, so here he is again right here. So boom, taking on the double team again, but look at how sound he is, right? Being able to move through it and then still being able to come down here and make a play and converge with his teammates right there for the stop. So not easy. He's constantly double teamed, but still able to make plays, fight through it. Same thing here, right? Not going to wow you, but just being able to kind of collapse that pocket, being able to, you know what I'm saying, make him uncomfortable, being able to close everything down, right? That's what he's doing consistent basis right here, right? No finesse moves. Just, we're going to get straight power, bull rush, strong hands, violent hands, and being able to stop the run. So that's what Texas is to me is getting in a player like this. Somebody that can stop the run consistently and just continually make plays. Right. Same thing here, getting up in that gap, as you guys can see. Here he is right here. Right. Boom. You see that get off, you see that initial push, locking in, but then boom, let me get off. You know what I'm saying? Let me block shit and then get right here. You know what I'm saying? This interior not allow the running back to be able to squirt through, get to that second level. Okay. Same thing here he is right here on that edge, looks like. Right, going up against looks like the tight end. That's too easy. You know what I'm saying? Being able to keep, everything in place. And obviously they're being able to make a play. And right there, you see him be able to come down and make that stop. Extremely gap sound. Here he is right here. Right, going up against that center, looks like, right? Right, good initial block, good initial push, but boom, looking to move the hands and then be able to take away that lane for the running back to run through, and then converges with his teammates and stops him right in his tracks. So that's what you'll get. Somebody that can stop that run on first and second down, create those negative plays, right? Be able to create, you know what I'm saying, those mismatches, and then just a constant in the backfield right here getting the sack. And just relentless pursuit. That's the biggest thing I look at when I see this player. Relentless pursuit, being able to get there in the interior, take away those gap lanes and integrity, and making it very tough. You know what I'm saying, for people to run the football. Right? Same thing here. Boom. Right here, he was just quick. Quick short hands, quick step, got there in the backfield in a hurry, and then closes down that lane. Right? So it'll definitely be some development here for this player. We see the upside though. We see the different things he can bring to the table, but definitely will be, you know what I'm saying, some development. Probably play in that year 2, in my humble opinion, for Tyler Alexander. But you see the things that he can do, right? The pressure he can create, right? Negative plays, rushing up those gaps, and then just staying, just not being able to be moved. See right here, it's getting moved, but then boom, let me get back into this gap. Boom, I see him back into the gap and then come down with the tackle. Every single time. That's exactly what you need out of that position, right? That's exactly what you want out of that position. And he does it at a consistent level. See, boom, here he is here on the rush, right? Nothing too crazy, but the quarterback trying to run through, boom, you engulf him, get the sack, right? So I wouldn't say it's anything crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? But he's going to get the job done. And like I said, for Texas, right, this is going to be probably first year development, second year probably going to play, right? But you can't replicate, it's hard to replicate 6'4", 305, you know what I'm saying, when you look at that, for Texas. But Not a guy you probably going to expect to play year one, but a guy you can develop into being that monster on the interior, on the defensive side. And once you do, you're good. And this is what Texas looks like. Still number 7 nationally, number 4 in the SEC, 17 commits, a bunch of blue chips, 10 blue chips, 2 5-stars, 91.36 class, right? Getting it done at a high level. We know about John Meredith, who committed last week. We broke down his film. Easton Ward's been committed for quite a long time. Cassie Curry comes over from Sierra Kenya. So, excuse me, he's a pretty good player. Brock Williams is another one. Tight end gives me Gunnar Helm vibes. Like he could be able to be used in that kind of a matter in this offense, being able to be a dynamic threat in the passing game. Javarius Garor is another one at the edge rusher position from Viger, plays for one of the better teams in Alabama and Mobile. Right, he's a really good player. Cameron Hall is another really good one at the edge. So you're building out this class, right? We know we got a bunch of edge rushers, but defensive linemen, you need it more, right? There's Tyler right there. You know what I'm saying? O3 has him listed as a 4-star. 371 national, number 40 in this position. But you needed more stoutness in the interior. So this is your first, second defensive line commit for this class. You needed that, right? You needed more guys there. So you feel good about this. Him, Cassie Curry, got what you need if you decide to Longhorns and you were trying to build out for years to come, in my humble opinion. But that's going to do it for today's show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I know, like I said, we're trying to build up this Texas audience too and all these fan bases along with what I do with Georgia Tech. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hype it up. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, it's always peace and love.